Good morning. I'm the Reverend Catherine MacDonald, and I'm the intentional interim minister at Stairs Memorial United Church in the north end of Dartmouth. And you're getting part of my sermon from yesterday on hope. I'm reading Barack Obama's memoir, The Promised Land, and in it he refers to a previous book he wrote, The Audacity of Hope. And I thought to myself, what a perfect intro to my sermon on Sunday. Now, most of my reading for pleasure is done in bed, so this was Friday night. By Saturday morning, I had forgotten that phrase when I sat down to write my sermon, and I was not panicked, but I was thinking, okay, how am I going to start? Where am I going to go into this? And then I went and made my bed, and I picked up my tablet, and I remembered that what I had been reading the night before. The audacity of hope. What a wonderful phrase. One definition of audacity is the willingness to take bold risks. And biblical hope is the confident expectation of what God has promised. So it could be said that we are a people who are willing to take bold risks, confident in God's promises. Hope itself is rather audacious. It's a willingness to take a look at what is, and rather than descend into a pit of despair, and that pit can be kind of alluring and seductive at times, take steps towards a world that is full of God's promises for everyone. Hope is much more than wishful thinking. It's intentional, it's determined, and it's faithful. Our Bible is full of stories of audacious hope, and our lives are full of stories of audacious hope, if we're attuned to hear them or see them. You know how when you buy a particular kind of car, suddenly that's all you see? It's the same as when we attune ourselves to stories and images and sounds of hope. We see them too. For instance, yesterday in these cold gray days of November, as November comes to an end, I looked out my bedroom windows, probably at the same time I was making my bed. And just outside our windows are our garden beds. I had buried all the leftover green stalks and for compost in the beds. And what's rising up but beet greens? Greens that you could eat in November. Determined, raising towards life. Audacious hope. I see audacious hope in the refusal of people to be held down by their circumstances. I see hope in a phone call that I receive saying, "Can you please help me?" That person could give up. That person reaches out, knowing that a church is meant for healing. Audacious hope. Where do you find audacious hope? Where will you see audacious hope? Please let me know in the comments. I would be delighted to hear your stories of audacious hope. Blessings on this week of hope, my friends.